All right, so we've checked off our first box of creating 4 functions, one for each button. So let's jump to the next area, which is grabbing the text from the 2 text fields. Okay, so this is pretty simple. We've actually already done this in a previous video, but let's jump back to our main activity and let's find out what our first text field is called. It's called first number. If I hop back in here, let's create a new val and we'll call this number 1. And let's set this equal to the value of first number dot text, right? So the text from it. So go inside something called first number, get the text, and then further we need to convert that to a string, right? So this is what we did in our input-output app. So, okay, that sounds good. Let's get another value called number 2, and let's do for second number, which was the name of our second text entry field, and we'll say convert that to a string, and then let's create another value called solution, right? And the solution is where we're going to actually do the operation, so we'll say solution equals number 1 plus number 2, okay? And then the very last thing that we have is to display that. So we're going to do the operation, and we're going to display that. And we want to display that in, what was it called? Solution text. That was the name of the text view. And we're going to say solution text dot text equals solution, right? That's a string. Seems simple enough. Let's run this and see what happens. So it compiled. That's good news. Let's go ahead and put in our first number. Notice, by the way, that the number pad keyboard is what appears here. That's because way back in our activity, we identified this as a number over here. If we put in just something like plain text, it would pull up the standard keyboard. So let's get back into emulator. Let's put in our first number, let's say 5, and our second number we'll say 2, so this should equal 7 whenever I hit this plus. Wait a second, that says 52. Obviously that's not correct. So what's happening here? Well, we're not actually adding 2 numbers together, we're adding 2 strings together, right? We're adding a string of text, the text 5, we can think of it like this. It looks kind of something like, and we're adding that to another string called 2. And the result of that is 52, right? It's appending 2 strings together. So what do we need to do to get these to actually add, right? To have an actual mathematical operation. So if you remember back to when we were talking about different data types, right? There's different data types. There's things like strings, right? Which are words. There's things like ints, which are numbers. There's doubles. There's booleans. There's lots and lots and lots of different data types, okay? So what we're doing right now is we're adding strings together because these are strings and these are strings, and then we're displaying a string again. Well, that's not really what we want to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back and revise this. What we actually want to do is add 2 ints together. And later I'll show you that that will result in, actual mathematical operations. But we want to add 2 ints together, not 2 strings. So let's add a new step to our pseudocode. We want to grab the text from the 2 text fields, and then we want to convert that text to an integer, right? So we don't want the text 5, we want an integer 5. Then we want to do the operation and display that result. So let's go through this code again and see if we can bug fix this.